Geek Cross. Hi, my name is Anna.
And I'm Peyton.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with something that is making my baby Pew's heart very, very happy because we're going to be reacting to more on and off music videos. Today, we'll be reacting to 2 more music videos. The first one will be their debut, on/off.
How do you read it?
On.
The second one we'll be reacting to is Complete, 널 만난 순간, or The Moment I Met You. Ooh, the moment I met you, I was complete. Ooh. Okay. Anyways, nothing more to say. Let's just get straight into it. Peyton's baby Pew's heart can't wait any longer.
It really can't.
What's happening? Is it like a portal? Oh wait, this is like the really complicated storyline.
Yeah, and it's like not in order, and he's got the barcode.
Oh! It's Peyton's fave. When did they debut? Because this sounds like a summery song.
I believe it was like September?
That would make sense.
But I'll have to
me.
double check. It was like around summer, fall.
Yeah, that would make sense to me, just like the styling and the music too. As you can hear.
What are they uploading? I just don't understand this.
It just went all minery. What? Sorry, I was like, what?
Oh, baby.
Because it's been sounding, at these parts, it sounds like vaguely tropical. Because of the do, 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 do. Yeah, but you can kind of tell that this is a debut. Because it's very like...
Yeah.
And then here it feels a little like folky. Perhaps country,
this music
partially.
Video? We have very different concerns with this video.
I'm sorry. I'm not a baby fuse like you are.
I just want to know what's happening. Like, they started showing like the rocket takeoff.
Yeah. Space launch.
Thank you.
Oh, but they're like outside an abandoned diner or whatever. Oh, came in on a weird beat. Oh, this is so weird. The line that's playing is the way that they're doing it is so weird, but I'm into it, man.
Right? Ooh, blonde hair Wyatt.
Oh!
He's blonde
Oh my
right
god,
now,
I
too.
did not recognize him! Oh no! I'm so sorry!
What?
Huh?
Who's the girl?
She's an astronaut.
I went back and I watched the dance practice and the performance video because I wanted to see more of the dance that you couldn't see in the music video. It's honestly not my favorite dance of theirs, but that also was unsurprising because debut dances are rarely my favorite dances because they're the ones that have the least amount of freedom in terms of how much they can play around with it, since when you're trying to have a strong debut, there's like certain criteria that have to be met. And that's not to say that there aren't interesting things about it. Like, there were still some really interesting moments. Like, they do this whole hand thing during the rap part that Laun and Yu both do that goes with the whole like on and off switchboard type theme. And then they also did this jump where they turned and then when they landed, they went straight to their knee and almost did a half split. And it's one moment where I'm kind of like, man, maybe we should have filmed my reaction to a dance practice, because I actually was like and then rewound it to see how they'd done it. So that moment was really, really cool, and it's in the dance break. And then another thing that I did notice was that they were already starting to play around with which parts of the song they emphasized, because I said in our last on and off reaction that they don't always emphasize the melody line when they're dancing, which is usually what you see, especially in K-pop songs, that they tend to emphasize like smaller parts of the music or like a sound effect or a line that's underneath, and they were already kind of starting to do that, which was interesting to see, especially in a debut song. I was interested though because the music video itself seems like it'd be a little bit more intense or a little bit more kind of like dystopian, just because, you know, they're in like the old rundown diner and then they have like just lots of things going on. But then when I watched the dance practice, I was like, the dance is brighter and the lyrics are a little bit kind of like brighter, and so I wanted to see how they had conveyed it in their expressions in the live stage. A lot of it honestly is just very smiley happy boys, and I kind of wished that they had played with like the whole on and off concept in their faces a little bit more, but I understand why they didn't, because one, in a debut stage usually groups are just really happy that they're debuting and kind of like overwhelmed, and expressions are not what they're focusing on, and so that's something that happens later on in comebacks or even in the debut promotional period. But yeah, it was just very interesting to see like what the storyline of the music video was with the song, with the dance that was kind of brighter, and I'm just like, I just want to understand, but I don't think I will ever understand. And then overall the song was kind of, again, I don't know how to describe it, like it was kind of weird and had a lot going on like genre wise, and Anna will talk about this more I'm sure, but I was kind of like, what am I listening to? But at the same time I was like, but I want to keep listening because I really like it. So yeah, I did like the song. And that is the end of my comments. Anna's turn.
So you might have noticed during Peyton's comments I was kind of like chuckling to myself, and the reason is because when you were like, I feel like the song or dance didn't really fit what I was getting from the music video, I actually disagree with that.
Really?
I felt like the music video, especially compared to the other music videos that we watched, it makes sense because the other ones are like they're running away from something or they're like desperate on this search for something, and like, or there was like all that stuff falling from the sky. I forget which music video it was, but then this one, it looks like they're like exploring and like at like the beginning of their journey or something. Also, like the shots weren't really dark. Like the lighting in itself of the video and everything was a little bit brighter and more saturated, whereas the other ones have been a lot more muted. But my perception of the music video and what was happening also might be influenced by like how happy the song sounded. But anyways, so to talk about the music itself, like I said in the video, like you can tell it's a debut song because it's very like youthful and bright sounding, but also the instrumental in itself was pretty bare compared to the other on and off songs that we've listened to. But like you also mentioned, it does go through a lot of different genres. During the rap parts, there's like this descending bass line that goes on in the background. It's cool because it's kind of groovy. That really reminded me of like Michael Jackson for some reason. And then I realized it's because the line sounds so similar to Timid Danger. The part that goes but then all of a sudden for like the bridge part, when Hyojin's singing, it gets like kind of R&B-esque. But the main thing that I think is super cool that I wanted to talk about was when I said it's kind of country, the line that was playing, it really reminded me of something that I would hear for like line dancing. In like a country song, I would expect that part to be played by like a harmonica, but for this song it was like a techno synth sound. It happens for every chorus, but when it happens at the end, right before the last chorus, there's like this sort of instrumental break and the line plays and it's a little bit different, but it's that same sound. I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like when you're testing, I think it's a circuit board, and you hear the electronic sounds that come out. It kind of sounds like that. But I was like, oh, that's so cool, because once again, they're like using something that isn't necessarily an instrument to be used as an instrument in the song. Because in our last video, I forget which song it was, they were using like a static sound, like a TV static sound or whatever, instead of a snare drum. And it's really cool because it fits their whole concept, like the futuristic concept with like electronics, techno things. And it's just really cool. I think I'm done. Next.
Okay, so now we're going to listen to On and Off's first comeback, which happened in June of 2018, so almost a year after their debut, which I have a whole separate TED Talk on, and Anna's heard it. We will be listening to Complete, 널 만난 순간.
Oh, so romantic.
I'm super excited because this is the song that they cut with It's Raining.
Oh.
And that was my favorite on and off Road to Kingdom stage.
Okay.
Yes,
Let's go. Okay, never mind, you win. Wait, but was that a tornado? Earlier? Oh my gosh, they're in pink!
Wait, they're so cute! Ooh, dancer. Pink
Oh wait, what is that in the background? Is that strings? Oh! I've heard that line somewhere before. Where did I hear this? I'm not gonna figure it out. Oh, dang it. Oh, it was this! That's what...
Rain. It's raining. Go rain. It's raining. They literally, that's what... That part! Oh my gosh! Red-haired Wyatt.
Oh wow. Okay, I
He
recognize
looks good in
him
red
this
hair.
time. He does. So I'm really not sure exactly what kind of sports players they're supposed to be.
Yeah, same.
Okay, yeah, those are definitely strings in the background, right? A flare gun? Okay.
Okay, so how does this fit into the storyline?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Is this like an alternate universe where things are happy? Aww. Oh, they go underwater and then the song goes underwater. Wait, is that the actual song or is it just for the music video?
Cute.
Oh, that's like in the other video when everything fell down from the sky. Oh, that's cool. The aspect ratio instead of black. That's an interesting ending with the crazies.
I was thinking about it and I wonder if this one is actually the first part of the story arc, since you know it's like brighter and we know that it doesn't go in order and the world isn't destroyed here yet. So I'm thinking that this is probably the beginning of it. And honestly, I'm sure that there are fan theories written out on the interwebs and I will be able to find those and we'll find those after this. But yeah, that's just what I was thinking. Because also then like you mentioned, oh, there's things falling from the sky, like in the Y music video. But then I was also thinking like, ooh, but maybe what if that was like meteors or something and like they destroyed the earth? But then also because they're getting ready for a comeback and the first comeback teaser shows them on a train, the like half-second shot of a train at the beginning of this music video made me wonder if that's how they're going to connect the storyline. And basically this group is turning me into a conspiracy theorist. But then some more substantial things. They borrowed some of the choreography from this for the It's Raining stage. Like literally probably 6 counts of choreography. It's right at the very beginning of the saxophone part and the chorus part. The movement that they do there is what JS does at the very beginning of his part in It's Raining. And I know that so well because I have watched that stage so many times. So just overall, what I had felt like I had missed or was missing in the debut stage already felt like it had been fixed here. Or I guess not fixed, because it's not that there's anything wrong with the debut stage, it's just that I had wanted more out of it, which is one of the dangers of watching it after we've seen them like years into their career. But like you could already see just from their first debut to this first comeback almost a year later that they had grown a lot and the choreography itself was just more substantial. Like there was a lot less pauses in it and a lot more actual choreography the whole time. Like I mentioned in the debut stage that their facials were just kind of like smiles like the whole time, and even just that had already changed, which was so interesting because like obviously they are smiling a lot here, but it felt more natural, and it just like, I don't know, it made me really happy to see. So my last thing is that I actually really like the song, which might be surprising to people because I know we always joke that I like my moody emotional music, but that doesn't mean that I don't like fun, upbeat songs. It just means that I have to be in the mood for them, but I do really like this song. Okay, now I'm done. Anna's turn.
I actually like this song more than I expected to, because after we finished watching it, I was like, huh, this is growing on me. But anyways, so first thing was, I don't know about you, but I was getting a kind of like disco 80s retro vibe from the song, which is why it kind of just made me want to dance to it. All the synth sounds that were being used and all the reverb that made it like really dreamlike, very reminiscent of 80s. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I kept mentioning like strings, and it only happens in the pre-chorus of the song for like a little bit. And when I was trying to listen more closely, I think it's strings, or it might just be like a synth like strings setting. It's something so small, it just added this extra layer of, I can't quite express it in words, but it made it more interesting. It sounded like an actual instrument, whereas everything else has just been like synths and electronic sounding. And I think that's also why like the highlight sax part in the chorus makes such a big difference too, which is cool compared to like the 80s electronic disco vibe of the rest of the song, but also the line that is playing is a little bit more jazzy. And then two little like element things that I liked in the song was, I mentioned it in the reaction, how the song in the second chorus, it actually like gets muffled and feels like you're underwater, and it matches how in the music video they like go into the pool and go underwater. But it's really cool because it like brings a little bit of a break to the song that's just been like upbeat and hype the whole time, because it's still the same line playing, but it's like muted. It's kind of like how you would put like for trumpets.
Are you talking about a damper?
Yeah, so it's not as harsh sounding, and it gives you a little bit of a break, even though the same line is being played. The other thing was, in the chorus, there's that bubbly line that happens where it goes like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And it just makes it more like fun and playful and really suitable for like a summer song, because this came out in June. Oh, I don't want to end on a sad note, but then the last thing that I really had written down in my notes was, I don't really know how to feel about the ending though, because it was like those multiple fading out crazies. Because usually you would just expect to like hear one and it fades out, but it was like crazy, 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 crazy. I was like, oh, I don't know. I like the rest of the song, but I just didn't really like that part. But like as a whole, I do like the song. It makes me like really happy and I want to dance. But anyways, that was all of my comments.
Okay, so TLDR. I have way too much energy today. I'm super happy that we got to listen to more on and off songs, because, and let me finish, because as a baby Fuse, it's been really hard that I can't listen to like more than just the few that we've reacted to. And so I was really happy. And then Anna's really happy because she also likes the on and off songs. I don't know what to TLDR, because basically like we both like the songs. There were a couple of things in each of them that we were a little bit like, huh? But overall we both liked them. And the storyline is still confusing. And I'm sure we'll be more confused when their comeback happens next week, so
that being said, if you liked this video, like On and Off, but are also confused by their storyline still, then please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!
bye!